What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 25 of my Total Warhammer 3 Vlad and Isabella Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, got some really nice battles out of Rudy and out of our new Strigoi Rod and Rudy's day, I suppose it was. The fight against Black Buckthorn was very, very nice, as he had some rather elite forces that were pretty good against the type of units that we brought, and that was on top of destroying the other little forces nearby from the parts of Sartozo. So good job, Rudy, and you got yourself a couple levels out of it as a reward as well. We also have both Evil Souls and Children of the Night maxed out now, so we can move on to other things. I suppose we will have to have some kind of melee line for you, and maybe we get some Graveguard in here just to hold the line while all the Cairn Wraiths and stuff go to work. That said, I do want to get more Hex Wraiths in here, and the Corpse Cart with Unholy Lodestone will shortly no longer be necessary, as we're very, very close to it with the Necromancer. Ooh, also you can get that higher level of replenished troops. Actually, while we're here, well, we may as well level you up a little bit. Let's get that Van Helston's Macabre. Actually, no, you know what? Let's get the Wind of Death. Let's get the Wind of Death. There you go. Rudy only has the Purple Scent of Zoreas, which, not a bad spell, but it's no Pit of Shades, and it's certainly no Wind of Death, so I'd rather have that on somebody. As for Rudy's levels, Creatures of the Night, Waking Dead, Black Knights, and Blood Knights, Carriages of Death. Well, he will have a Mortis Engine, but we don't necessarily need to level just the one. And frankly, Mortis Engines are so good, they don't really need the buffs. I'm still thinking on Living Host. It's not a crazy amount of buff, but it'll be neat. I mean, then again, if we replace, for example, you two with Hex Wraiths, and then we have room for just 3 Graveguard in here, presuming we keep the 5 Cairn Wraiths. That said, it's not a bad army core, I suppose. You know, I'll have to think about that one. You can hold on to your points for a little bit. I guess we could get you Beguile or Curse of the Revenant to buff your HP up or something. And man, after defeating Throth the Unclean on the Strigoi, I'm now thinking we really want that on everybody. Actually, where is the Strigoi? Now that I'm thinking about you, buddy, perhaps we start summoning your Crypt Ghouls as well. No, you know what? We're going to wait on that. We're going to do 2 things. First of all, we're going to attack at Averheim with Peter, and we're going to do it cinematically next turn, I guess, because you have to actually build your ram. Okay, fair enough. The other thing I'm thinking about is maybe it's time to pay the Cathians for a military rather than defensive alliance. For the reason that, well, we still can't access their good stuff until we have better forms of, outpost. Also, Vlad, go chase down Throughout the Unclean. I really want his defeat trait on you. That extra HP on every vampire, and just too much value. And we will have to then leave Erengrad relatively undefended, but Prague is on the way up here, or sort of on the way, and it does seem to be owned by the Skaven. If it's been highly leveled, I feel like we should probably claim it. That said, this would mean bordering Kislev, which is a little bit annoying. You know what we'll do? We're gonna send the Tech Thief out here, and we're gonna have him go to Prague and see what's in there. I'm actually really surprised that the Kislev AI hasn't been focused on retaking Prague, at least. We actually haven't seen a lot of attacks from them. Ooh, actually, now I'm thinking, what if we give the Strigoi... Frostbite from defeating Serena Catherine. Actually, it would have been neat to get the Frostbite for Rudy, now that I think about it, considering his entire army can do the same. Would have been nice to match up, especially he has no contact effects whatsoever. But a trip all the way north, that might be a little bit out of the way. Anyway, let's start by going to diplomacy. And not with you, Red Duke, but eventually, Red Duke. Don't you worry, buddy. I got you in mind. Western provinces, military alliance. We could pay you for this directly, but I think we'll just join the war against Nikai and get a little bit of a payment out of it as well. Wait, could you join our war against anybody? I'm just thinking, is anybody near you? Now, you know what? Actually, you're kind of having a tough time already. Your strength rank's 78. I'm a little bit worried about Cathay, actually. So let's just not. Let's just join the war against Nikai. And honestly, if we have to send an army out here, maybe there will be a benefit to doing so. Alrighty, there you go, Jiaming. At least you'll love us even more now. And yeah, we're rising to 131. I mean, sometime down the line, it might be possible just to outright vassalize them. And then the northern provinces. Vassalage, fairly unlikely now. Military alliance is at 9, eh? But our reputation is still increasing. What if we join war against Goldtooth? Nah, still unlikely. I mean, we could do this just because we can, but, well, let's wait on that. We have to build up our rep with them anyway. Now, we got a decent amount of money, and we do have a place that we can spend it, our newer provinces, to start generating even more cash. So let's start with you. Obviously, the Dark Iron Mining Pit. And Fort Chakova, I really don't want to lose you. And, look, these guys have all leveled up, so we don't need the growth buildings here anymore. We can replace them with walls and other things. Though that said, now that I think about it, perhaps maybe not. As long as they have gibbets and walls, maybe we keep these here. Okay, except here because you need walls. Keep these here just to increase our necromancer capacity, as we will be needing more necros. You can't get enough necros. Okay, well then moving on to here, we have another gibbet to upgrade here. We have Mordheim to upgrade, and another gibbet here. There we go. That certainly took a decent amount of cash, and you are obviously going to keep all those necro buildings because you have to upgrade Beckhofen itself. Also, if we were to build these, I was just thinking getting more income from building spirit wells in minor provinces, but it's kind of not worth it at only 25. Probably just better off building various buildings that increase capacity, which is only necromancers for minor settlements. Really, you have to build all of the capacity increase buildings in major settlements, except for the White King one, mostly because I don't particularly like White Kings. They're only in there for flavor, in my opinion, and they really need to add commander traits to them, like white commander traits. They really should buff whites around them because they're White Kings. I mean, and I feel like they're missing out on that. Anyway. Bathilda, you, I guess, are going to head down to Tretch, mostly because, well, there's nothing for you to do right now, and I hate being wasteful with heroes. So let's put you into channeling stance. You won't suffer attrition through this dwarven territory because there seems to be enough, Empire corruption. That said, the dwarfs won't love you for it because it's constant trespassing, but once again, we're gonna get into a fight with the dwarfs eventually. Pieter, I do want you to steal... You could get a Blood Kiss, but honestly we're pretty good with regards to the Bloodline Awakening, so I think we can just try to steal tech. Also, Imric's really starting to like us. Huh. I wonder, if we join your war against the Darkland Orcs... No, not yet. They don't like us very much now, but the High Elves are pretty good trading partners, so perhaps, Imric, perhaps. And we have no intention of getting into the Darklands currently. Though... we will eventually. I just figure we're probably more inclined to push southward towards Nehekara rather than towards the Darklands. Rather keep this barrier between us and what's going on over here while we take the empires, both the current empire and the old empire of Nehekara. Anyway, you know what? Try to steal this, although at 8% hero wounded. A little bit worried about that. What about your chance to assassinate him? No, it's not that much different. Alright, give it a try. You got hero recruitment increase for Banshees, but you did fail, but you also leveled up, so... great. Steel tech for you, buddy, and you just stay here. You dare. Wait until the Queen Bee gets here and buffs you up. Okie dokie, let's move the rest, and then we shall be able to move Peter to conquer. You. Steel tech for Madgig. Nice, and we have for 6 turns. And what about you? You have it for 4 turns. Keep stealing, I guess. 69 versus 49. Yeah, definitely the 69. It's a sign. A nice sign. There you go. Alrighty, let's hold off on that for a little while because it does cost us a decent amount of money every turn. Also, how's our research proceeding? It's looking pretty good. We got most of the best stuff. We do want to get the vampire crypts and stuff, but that'll come later and isn't super necessary right now. Currently, I want to trend or to tech towards unliving siege engines for the missile resistance during siege battles, and enshrine ancient lords for the raise dead and the attrition buffs. And those are quite nice. Plus, we get the infuse the tireless hordes on the way, which 10% campaign movement range is quite worthwhile. It's essentially a free skill point on every character because it's equivalent to the first point in the blue line. Anyway, that's it for you guys. Let's see if there's any more buildings we can build. Ooh, Fort Saul. This is quite expensive for something that hasn't been used yet, but frankly the defenses here are quite meh right now, and I do tend towards wanting to allow this place to continue holding. It will get attacked by the Sartosans eventually unless Rudy kills them first, but that said, money first, questions later. Also you, get that charnel pit, Silver Pinnacle, you need to build up, and we'll also need to get your walls as well. Gotta save up money for those upgrades. Mount Gunbad, you've got walls coming, and you've got your charnel pit / lich yard. You're good. You, Matorka, you can get a port shortly. If there's no gibbets to make, I'll go for the port. Fyldorf, you get an upgrade, but it is not worthwhile right now. We're good here. Sturland. Nagenhof, you're upgrading. I think we're good. Ostermark, Sturland. Yes, there's another gibbet. And Needling. Actually, that was a gallows, but yeah. Do we upgrade this at Needling? It is kind of in a dangerous territory, although not nearly as dangerous as several others. Though, if we start fighting with Talabekland, the Wissenland, rather. I call them Talabekland because they've taken over Talabekland more than Wissenland at this point. We gotta get them both. But I think we'll hold off on that. We're good here. Oakenhammer, Kirkdromar is nearly ready. You're good, you're good. Yeah, you know what? Let's upgrade Needling then. Or Needling's walls. And then we'll save the rest of the minor amounts of cash for additional upgrades. Alright, that looks good to me. Everybody is ready to go, so let's skip to next turn. Building upgrades, yada yada yada, end. We also got to keep an eye out on getting Children of the Night for every single lord as fast as possible. Need to keep driving down the costs and continue what we're doing. We also need to send another Necromancer down to Clan Moors. The problem currently is that Draika is at war with them, but we can't tell Draika to attack them directly because I believe you can't do that when you can't see their settlements. And though I could be wrong. We'll check that out shortly. I'm also thinking of a declare war from the Savage Orc, the Top Knots. Okay, Top Knots, sure. Strength rank 1, 11 versus Strength rank 1. Good luck with that. What was I saying? Yeah, I was also thinking about perhaps building a primarily flying army for somebody. And that might be quite fun. Because we can get from Draika Hawk Riders, so we'd have flying ranged, in addition to all the flying options that we have. Vampires on Hellsteeds, as well as obviously Bats, Vargeists, and Terrorgeists, which normally would be the flying army for Isabella, but because Isabella's acting as a hero, not quite the same. Hey, we got another student. And I just gotta figure out who to give that to. Do you have a student, buddy? No, you don't. You deserve one in Vlad's army. There we go, very nice. So what are we at here, by the way? 305. Let's infuse those tireless hordes, I think. Though we could stop by for 2 turns to reduce Cairnwraith, Mourngull, and Hexwraith upkeep. It's essentially a 10% upkeep reduction for Rudy's army, so it's going to be like 300 to 400 gold, which isn't horrible. Yeah, alright, fine, let's get that, and then we'll go through and shrine Ancient Lords and possibly to Spirit Shackles to buff his army up further. I also want Beastmaster to reduce Vargulf and Vargeist upkeep, especially as Peter's about to increase his Vargeist numbers. Throt and stuff, you need to be dealt with as well. Also, Tech Thief. You know what? I wanted you to move down to Prague, but there's a Typhus Rat right beside you, and I feel like you gotta kill it for the Blood Kiss. There you go, and you got yourself a unnecessary corpse cart. At least you have the option. There you go. And then move down here. And also get assault units for the unlikely situation that we needed. Also, I do wonder if Hell Pit's going to upgrade itself back to rank 5. What are we at here? It's not too bad. And oh, you're nearby. I do wonder if we could kill you with Vlad. You know, he's right beside us. This is kind of a waste of a movement point for Vlad, but I'd really prefer him not raiding our territory. So let's do this. You're gonna move away, but Vlad can move extremely far because of his various bonuses. So yeah, you're dead, buddy. You should have moved further. And now I suppose we're poised to attack, take, or sack Prague, depending on what's going on over there. Plus, at least we're in our own territory, so don't suffer attrition, though I still want to go after Throt for that sweet, sweet HP buff. Another Black Periap, that's amazing. Okay, so Vlad and Izzy, you continue using your forbidden rods, but we're gonna give the other Black Periapt to... I mean, we could give it to Madeline. The thing is, I'm now starting to think perhaps we give it to several other armies, because, well, we can't just have Vlad have all the best stuff. You have the Book of Ashur, which is not too bad. We could give the Black Periapt to Diedrich, though he is using a Staff of Damnation. It does depend on what we want to get in this army. And yes, we will be getting Banshees in this army as well for heroes, just for flavor, if nothing else. It's just that I don't want to invest in building additional Banshee buildings right now. Also, I like the fact that you have Perceptive. The magic item drop chance would be helpful in various armies, though. Which army would we put you in? You have the Lore of Shadows, which does work with the Lamian, with Bathilda. Well, maybe. I mean, she's got to lose her skeleton spears and her ghouls eventually. Plus, we got to give the Feasters in the Dusk to our new ghoul king, or Strigoi rather. All right, you steal this tech. Failure, damn. You, would you start suffering attrition here? Yes, okay, so go into raiding stance, and then go right on the edge of their territory. There we go, a little bit better, but at least you won't suffer attrition. And just watch out for Clan Moors coming up here. Gotta remember that Clan Moors is not actually at war with the dwarfs here. We really need to somehow make that happen. I do wish that there was some manipulation capabilities for these guys, but whatever. Also, you, move in and kill Murta the Blade here. Or wait, Hadar, what's the chance here? 70. But if we move into this, it might be higher. Yeah, there we go. Use that Queen Bee to assassinate. Much more successful. And you're good as you are. What's the sack value of Mount Silver Spear? It's 2.6k. It's not that much, but, you know, it's something. Once again, I don't want Bathilda to be doing nothing at this point. Okie dokie. Who else needs to move this turn? You know what? We've done enough admin. Let's have a cinematic battle with Peter and getting his proper debut in the attack on Abraham. It'll be a siege, and it'll be a siege with range units, though still without artillery, sadly. I think we should be able to pull it off. Go. It's always done, isn't it? Ooh, and I've always loved the vampire ram model. All that balefire on it just makes it look so nice. Definitely one of my favorite of the original ram models, as in not the new ones. The new ones are also pretty damn fantastic, especially the towers. But yeah, that looks like a pretty nice vampiric little edifice there. Anyway, Peter, he is on the field, finally no longer waiting in the wings with his Imperial Tactics style army. Of course, he does have those Vargeist that are taking care of enemy greatswords, but his army otherwise is more or less sort of like what the Imperials would use. We got Graveguard in place of Swordsmen, Graveguard with great swords instead of, well, great swords. Then we've got the various ranged units, and of course later on we will have some artillery, and a couple knights and doggos as well, though the doggos will be deleted later. The knights and the doggos, speaking of, are waiting to go through different types of gates as long as there are no units guarding them, and it does look like they'll be able to get onto the field fairly shortly. Otherwise, our own bats have flown through the enemy formation. I didn't want all those handgunners and stuff hitting them, and it seems like the enemy got their handgunners and their crossbows off the walls pretty much immediately, so they would have to be attacked on the ground, and then they get surrounded, as in our Vargeist would get surrounded, so I didn't want to risk that. We do get an overcast use of our Flock of Doom on about 4 enemy units, which is pretty good. Obviously the spell is very decent when the enemy's blobbed up. Not as good as something like Wind of Death or anything like that, mind you, but it's not like we have access to anything better right now anyway. Plus, it's a nice spell that actually does work on top of walls, unlike many. And since we don't have access to any bombardment spells as the Vamps, we might as well get something like that. For the von Carstein lore, anyway. And we're also trying to break through that gate, and I do imagine it'll be done fairly quickly. The Mortis engine is currently hitting it, and we're moving in some units as well. The ram is getting there, helmed by the sternsmen. Ooh, and they're gonna take a tower hit. Yeah, unfortunately the tower wasn't it wasn't active before, but it got activated here. Too bad for that. Ooh, I like the shields of the sternsmen. Damn, those look fantastic. Huh, I take it those are unique shields. The Graveguard don't use the same sort of shields, eh? Not you? Yeah, definitely different shields for the Graveguard. Damn, I wish they all had those shield models. Anyway, we're moving our archers in, and they're gonna start working on those halberdiers on the walls and anything past the walls as well. And oh, huh, you can actually put archers here. Oh, that's pretty nice. I'd like to try to defend this place with an Imperial army. Seems pretty fun. Put some archers or handgunners here and fire onto the walls. That's really good. I do wonder whether the handgunners would actually have range. Yeah, it seems like they should in theory. Of course, it does make them vulnerable to counter-fire from the same location, but as the enemy climbs, this is certainly very dangerous for them. Anyway, there we go, our archers and our crossbows working on those halberdiers. And we are moving around in the background with our flyers as well as our Vargeists drop down on an isolated unit of, I believe, handgunners here, and we'll soon follow suit to attack those crossbows as well. We're also going to move in through those gates, which are nearly down both by the doggos and the knights, which will stream into the city, chasing units and capturing stuff as they go. This gate is at 2k HP, and it does look like it'll drop before the ram gets here. Kind of a waste of a ram, but since we don't have siege attacker in this army, we needed it. This is another reason to probably get not only artillery but a Vargulf in this army to be able to break through a gate. The artillery could of course waste its shots on the gate, but when we can use a Vargulf to break it, why not? Anyway, looks like those handgunners got ripped apart, and this was an awful place for them to fight. Not only are they ranged, but they got caught right between two walls and piled on by a bunch of Vargeists, who are now going to go after their other little friends here. And there we go. Beautiful. Well done to the Vargeists, though they have taken a little bit of damage, one's at half HP, though the model count is still at a solid 14 out of 16, and the other one's at 15 out of 16, regardless of the damage as well. We can simply get an Overcast or otherwise Invocation of the Heck. Gate is almost down, allowing us to stream through, and our Dire Doggos have also entered into the city, ready to help our flyers out and attack. There's that Overcast Invocation of the Heck to heal all of our flyers. Fortunately, the enemy doesn't have any halberdiers here, and it's just swordsmen and handgunners, so they're pretty much done for. Oh wow, ripping them in half. Damn, Vargeists. And here come the doggos. Too bad we don't have the Dire Pack here. The Dire Pack is so good. Imagine if you could get the, build a Dire Pack equivalent unit. As in, it wasn't a Regiment of Renown anti-large Dire Doggo thing. Anyway, unfortunately for us, some more units are going to arrive and hit our Vargeists in the back. Definitely got to still be careful with them. And the bats, who are still quite fragile. Otherwise, we're into the city now. Our Lord and the Mortis engine together tying up a unit of halberdiers. Once again, we don't want them attacking our Vargeists, so we're going to distract them with the Mortis engine instead. And further units are streaming into the city as well. These sternsmen are here. They did get a heal after taking damage from that tower and are nearly back to full, and do have the corpse cart for them to heal up as well. We're also flying around in the background, hitting enemy towers with bats as they've already knocked one out and are working on another one. Especially as that does seem to be the less dangerous the less dangerous job here, as these Fellbats are at about half HP and are going to need a heal to stay alive. And there we go, finally some Rays dead onto the field. Always feels a little bit weird when you don't have zombies fighting for you. And there we go, now they flee from Pete. Oh, cut down from the back. One of them got cut in half and the other one lost his head, and they're going to just run into those Vargeists. Alrighty, well, it looks like the gate and the walls have fallen and we're well into the city. Further Graveguard are streaming in, though they didn't have much use for the ram there, unfortunately. And on top of all that, our knights have managed to move all the way to the Victory Plaza and are getting ready to capture it. No enemy unit is nearby to actually prevent them from doing so. Over on this side, we're capturing another key building with the Varix Reavers, and though there are some enemy units that are moving to head them off, it is only a unit of swordsmen. Basic swordsmen stand no chance against the Varix Reavers, especially as this is a regenerative unit, so good luck to them. Although I don't imagine it'll help too much. Alrighty, and it looks like some halberdiers are coming in. Gonna have to be careful with those. We will send our Vargeists at them, but of course they can quite dish it out, so we will need the help of the Dire Doggos as well. While our Lord, our Mortis Engine, and all of our Graveguards stream into the city to go after the remaining units, although there doesn't look to be that many of them. Alrighty, everybody, time to get ready to hit those poor halberdiers. Come on. I'm looking at the map right now to see whether these guys get charged first or the Varix Reavers charge first. I know somebody attacks somebody, but I don't remember who. Alright, what was the order of operations here? It looks like the Vargeists have dropped down first. Alrighty, fair enough. Well, first blood goes to you, and here come the doggos to rip into those halberdiers. Of course, dangerous for everybody involved. And the Varix Reavers are looking to be moving as well, so let's watch their charge, since we don't get to watch a lot of nightly charges in sieges. There we are, right into those swordsmen, and lots of them go flying. Looks like you're the winner, buddy. No, this guy's the winner. Huh, out of the second wave of charges. Nice job. And let's just see what the damage is after that single charge. Their HP got about halved, and on top of that, our units are completely unharmed. So yeah, looks like these guys are going to be routing very shortly, shaken as they are, and we're at a halfway to capturing the Victory Plaza as well, though the enemy does seem to be moving a couple units there. We've also taken a little bit more damage on those Vargeists. They've reached their healing cap, in fact, though it does appear that they have managed to destroy those swordsmen for good, and the battle should be just about over. Our bats have caught an unit of great swords and the last unit of halberdiers and the Arch-Elector, though only units remaining with full HP decide to rout. And damn, those Varix Reavers obliterated that unit of swords. Well done to them, Poke. I love the way that when knights with the lances attack in melee, it's just so casual the way they just appear to poke things and those things die. That guy does not look like he's having a great day. But anyway, there we go, a decisive victory as the proper debut for Pete. Yeah, he's fought against Skaven already, but this is the real one. Alrighty, not too bad at all, Pete. A little bit of damage to our Vargeists, who in fact took the brunt of the losses there, but that's hardly surprising considering the number of handgunners and the number of halberdiers on the field for the enemy army. Quite adept at fighting Vargeists, but at the same time, the Vargeists did the most damage, so they did what they were supposed to do. And we will occupy the place, obviously. Nice, a terrifying mask of E, completely and utterly useless for a vampire that can go for a zombie dragon and for supernatural horror. So yeah, you don't get that. We'll deal with your proper items later on. We do have skills for you though, buddy. Now, technically, we probably want the Unliving Host as fast as possible to buff up your Graveguard. That said, once again, money is the king, and I feel like we're going to go for Children of the Night first, and other stuff second. 9% upkeep reduction, after all, does combine with the 10% campaign, or an upkeep reduction, that we get from the Necroarch Forbidden Arts. So, yeah, definitely a worthwhile investment there. Grunstad doesn't have walls, and it should fall with great ease. And Marius Lightdorf will probably be stuck until his death here. Because he can't go past Migdal von Galbarak, he can't siege it, and he'll die if he tries. And I'm not even sure he can go past Karakern either. This is very weird. Most likely he'll suicide trying to attack Migdal von Galbarak. The AVERLAND AI just decided to die one day. It did this siege and died, and then it did a random war declaration on us, so whatever. War coordination, do we have any new missions? Alas, we do not. We still need to try to figure out a alliance with the northern provinces, but yeah, they still won't even take the like 16 or 17k that we have. And we do have to be careful with them. They are... ooh... Deathmaster Snitch is attacking Kunlan, though it looks like they're about to get some help. It would be unfortunate, because Kunlan is... well, then again, if these guys confederate, it'll make the northern provinces stronger, which is good for us. And Nikai, ooh, you're kind of starting to threaten Hanyu Port. You know, we're going to get this upgrade here, and buff up the garrison a little bit, which is decent, but not perfect. And especially if Jiao Ming isn't gonna hold it directly, and his army is quite weak. He's not going to be able to take Nikai. Shangwu is dead. There's no doubt about that. So hopefully he goes to... yeah, it seems that he's going to try to defend Hanyu Port instead, which is obviously the better action. I really wish that we could move over to him. We could try via Sea Lane, but the nearest one is pretty far from us as well. We'll have to figure that one out. Anyway, let's keep moving here. Rudy. Actually, you're not going to move. You're going to stay here for at least one more turn, though you need to recover a unit. We could get you a second Mortis engine, which are quite nice, but your melee line isn't so big that you actually need a second Mortis engine. You're probably better off getting either your Hex Wraith, or that Graveguard unit. I do want you to have more Hex Wraiths, though. It's just that they're extremely expensive. Whatever, raise the Hex Wraith. It can't hurt. Alrighty, and also you do have points that I still haven't decided what to do with. Because Evil Souls buffs Hex Wraiths. They're not counted as... they're not buffed in the same manner as Black Knights and Blood Knights, even though they're Cav, which is appropriate. I mean, they should be buffed in the same manner as Cairn Wraiths would. Why not? Alrighty, so that's looking good to me. Roddy. Rod, what you gonna do? You could go for Children of the Night right now. You know, you have most of the stuff. I do want you to get the Hunger, which frankly you should have automatically, but you'll be fine for now. Let's get you Children of the Night. You know what? No, let's get you the Hunger and Children of the Night. There we go. We could get Children of the Night after. And you're gonna start raising those ghouls. And there you go. Hopefully more will come up. And obviously we'll swap you the Feasters in the Dusk from Batilda's army. Vlad, you're stuck where you are, at least for the turn. And same with Rudy. Rod is stuck. Tech Thieves. You got 6 turns, and thus you're probably better off assassinating. So you, Tech Thief, try to kill whoever's nearby. Also, you have all the good stuff, so go for replenish troops. It doesn't really matter. Just to spend the point. And then try to kill Samuel here. Decent chance. There you go. Another completely necessary blood kiss. Actually, the only blood kisses we have left, or the only bloodlines we have left, are at 12 points. So we'll have to figure out which one we go for. The most likelihood is probably for the Lamian for that campaign line of sight increase. It's the most immediate bonus. We do get Crypt Horrors for raised dead pool capacity increase out of the Strigoi, but nah. Not a huge deal right now. Siegfried von Drack. Yes, you, our new Necromancer, are moving to Peter, because you're going to be his support Necro with your Disciplined trait. I really wish we had more Bloodline Lords with the Disciplined trait. It's a decent trait. Unlike, well, unlike half of the traits that you randomly get. Let's start you off with the Replenished Troops. And, wait, let's start off with Invocation of the Hex and then Curse of Undeath, and then go into Replenished Troops. Master of the Dead and Corpse Guard is what we want for you, so, yeah. We can't lose Pete's Corpse Guard until you've leveled up, buddy, so get on it. Okie dokie, then a little bit more cash to spend. Let's start with this area. Fort Jakova. I really don't want to lose you, so we're going to start those walls up there right now. And then here, do we have any new gibbets? One in Essen shortly, but not right now. And Beckhofen, you probably need your second level walls, as otherwise you're gonna get killed by something. Zavastra, you also need your second level walls, but Rod, you're just gonna stay there until they're good. We also need to keep an eye on our north, because the Ecstatic Legions are gonna come down and attack Erengrad yet again. I'm almost tempted to move Rod up north now to Erengrad instead, as it is liable to get attacked. There may be reason to do that. You can't go there in one turn. Let's maybe put you here. And put you into ambush, just so nobody knows that you're there. And then march up to Erengrad. Of course we can— ooh, Festus has moved here. What if he tries to go for Zavastra? Well, I guess we'll see what he does, and then we'll move between these two. Until this place has walls, that'll be an issue. And hello, Tarina Katrin. You're moving to Prague now. Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Your army is kind of trash, although the armored Cossars are decent. These are the Great Weapon Armored Cossars, which, through a lot of Kislev experience with a very long Kislev campaign, I don't particularly like the Great Weapons ones. They're extremely fragile, and thus, you know, quite vulnerable to our army as well. Anyway, Silver Pinnacle, let's get you that Lich Yard up and running. And I believe there should have been a gibbet that came up this turn, as we saw last turn. I don't recall where. Ah, Salt, though. And we actually ran out of money, so if a gibbet did come up, it was at Karakungor. Oh! You know what? I screwed up. Karakungor needs to be upgraded first and foremost. Fort Chakova, we're gonna skip those walls for this turn. Karakungor, you need that gold mine up and running immediately. And, you know, we'll wait on your gibbet until next turn. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Well, let's skip the rest of this. You're not moved, yada yada yada, but I think that's all the ones that need to move. Which tech thief is this? Yeah, you could just stay where you are, because there's nobody for you to assassinate. I'm actually tempted to start moving one of these tech thieves away from Festus's territory and up here to watch the Ecstatic Legions instead. That might be a better use for you. Plus, there will be more targets for assassination up here. The one tech thief that's beside Vlad isn't enough anymore. Anyway, Vlad, let's see what happens with Prague. Would be interested to see if— oh, damn, our ambush got foiled. I was about to say, would be interested to see if the Kislevites attack Prague and then we could immediately attack them with Vlad, but alas, not gonna be the case. They're too scared. Looks like Karazakarak is also not going to declare war on us this turn. Draika, you still want that military alliance? Eventually, eventually. I don't see a need right now. Although— you know, maybe. Maybe it's time for this. We are getting more military alliances after all, and if she attacks somebody, like the dwarves, for example, well, you know what? I'm willing to support Draika. She's been really helpful. Look at this little area she's created to protect Akendorf. And she's taken the Forest of Gloom for her own. She has territories within our territories. She protected the northern borders for so long that I sort of trust to say, ooh, Festus, you've decided to siege Talabheim. That might get interesting. Damn. I might have to send Vlad south, because if Festus gets into the interior territories past Talabheim, and that will be something we actually have to deal with. Anyway, military alliance, you can join our war against— anybody here would be a good war for you to help us out with. It's not that we need help so much as I would like you to join war. You know what? Not really. Not really anything here is near you that we're not fighting. We're not fighting the Bloody Hands, but we will eventually. Let's say, how about Clan Rictus? I don't really care about Clan Rictus. They're weak. You know what? Don't even bother. You're fine. Let's go with that military alliance now. There you go. And this will also help out when we inevitably declare war on more enemy factions. And if Draika declares war, she declares war. Watch her declare war on Reichland immediately. Just, you know, get us attacking him earlier. Chaos Undivided Corruption, go for it. 3k money, worth it. Our Vampiric Corruption is so strong right now that that won't make any difference. Tech Thief. You unfortunately will not reach Prague, but that's okay. We're gonna check out what's going on here anyway. Although we do have to remember that the Kislevites are still nearby. I'd really... wait. Where is the sundered armor coming from? Is it just something Vlad naturally has, or is this given by something? Magic attacks, income, post-battle loot, passive ability. Yeah, I really don't want to lose sundered armor. It's really great for attacking lords. And I'm pretty sure it won't stack with... also, we need to get you your final points, but we'll hold on to them for now. I mean, it's not like anything's a threat to you. You know, either way, you're gonna go to Prague. Let's see what we're looking at here. And, could Serena Catron be an ambush right outside this? Let's continue siege here. What are we looking at here? We are looking at a tier 4. Oh, was it upgrading to tier 5? Oh my. It's only worth 2,000 sack value, though. Wow. Or it was maybe upgrading to tier 4. If we let it... You know, I think we're actually better off not attacking it. Letting that happen. Because then we could take it at a higher tier and we wouldn't have to worry so much about it like we did about Kislev and being attacked by something and immediately taken. Damn, would have been nice, but it's okay. We can break the siege and move away from it. Let it keep upgrading a tier. It's only 3 turns. And we can head to help it again. It's a 9k sack value at this point. Are they upgrading this again? No, not yet. If we sack it again, it'll be down to tier 3. Maybe we wait until it upgrades to tier 5 and then hit them. We could also just straight up take the help it for ourselves. Thing is, once again, I really want that Throt upgrade. You know, Vlad, stick around for a little while. Go back into our own territory so that we don't suffer attrition on you. And then we'll see what we can do with you afterwards. You're gonna be in the north for a while, at least until either Reichland or Talabekland or Wissenland, damn it, declares war on us. Why did they have to take Talabekland? And they also have a somewhat similar color scheme, which is making me further confused. Pieter rather. Do you want to do anything about this assault unit? You can wound some of these guys. But, oh, you're missing your steel tech. Okay, fine, just steal it. Steal it, 92 success rate's pretty good. Also, what's the defeat trait for Trudge Craventail? If we can somehow find him. Which is a tall order, I suppose. Also, you're exhausted, so the likelihood of your succeeding in assassination is... actually not so bad. Try it anyway. It's okay. With the Queen Bee, you're still pretty damn decent at that. You are going to keep moving in raiding stance down here. I imagine Trudge is either... there he is. Maybe he'll move back to Mount Silverspear. Wait, I'm gonna give you this order so that the AI hopefully thinks that that's what you're doing, though most likely he's gonna run. Yeah. His army is trash, and there's no way that he's gonna try to fight us like this. But it's okay. We gotta keep doing something with Bathilda after all. Also, nobody's taking Howling Rock still. I'm almost tempted to move up here and grab it. Just to start building it up as a fortress, though more settlements bordering Grimgore isn't necessarily a good thing either. Anyway, Rudy, you're good now, buddy. And nah, he's not gonna attack. He'll be fine. Let's get that Murky Harbor, and let's start moving Rudy out. Actually, you know what? Wurzag is here with a full stack. Let's stay here for 1 turn until the Graveguard Watchtower is up and running, just in case. I'd rather not risk it. Fort, we will deal with you. Peter, you're not able to reach Grenstadt in a single bound, so let's move you, let's say, actually here. And maybe raid for a turn. Also, can you raise anything good here? Like another Vargeist? No. Would have been nice. You're so close to your rank 10. Channel wins, and just out of curiosity. Yeah, we are... probably should have spent the skill points saving them for the Brooding Horrors. But we could just get Children of the Night and Brooding Horrors at roughly the same time. Although we can also get free bats. But, you know... I guess we could get rid of the Direwolves and just go all bats because they're free. Even though the Direwolves are better. I'll think about it. Alrighty. Anything else interesting? Ziggy. The other Ziggy. The Von Drack Ziggy, not the Warriors of Chaos one. You are exhausted. You know what? You go north. You're level 18. You'll have a higher success chance there while you stay here. Also, what's our rate? 308. We're missing one. Should be at least 330, so somebody doesn't have Steel Tech up and running. And it's not you. Okay. Well, Rod, you can move again. Can you raise any more ghouls here? Aha, yes you can. Keep raising those ghouls. We'll need to find somewhere to raise crypt horrors as well. And then you're gonna go north to Erengrad, at least for now. And Festus, you are sieging, eh? Likelihood of him losing this? Non-existent. Talabheim has nothing in it. Okay, do these guys have armies? If they do, they will move up here. Is this now the time to take their territories? Or do we let Festus attack? You know what? I think we need Vlad moving back. Perhaps it's time to start annoying Talabheim and taking it. They are starting to dislike us, so if we raid throughout their territory with Vlad, they'll dislike us further and will likely end their non-aggression pact. We're near enough to Nuln with Peter. Maybe it's time to take everything but Reichland. I suppose the real Reichland could also declare war on us at this stage. And you know what? Maybe we want to try to get a reputation up, or our friendliness with Kurun. No, then again, if we declare war on them, the Red Duke will like us more. We'll have to see. Anyway, unfortunately with that we're out of time, and I am going to have to call this episode here. Next time, the death of AVERLAND, as we take a new province for ourselves, which will mean more gibbets, and actually, let's also destroy these while we're at it. Actually, you know what? Let's keep you for the vampiric corruption for at least a few turns. Yeah, so destruction of AVERLAND, we will move out with Rudy. And we will send Vlad to do something. I'm not entirely sure. Probably to Festus, though we may take at least one more trip around up here. Or we wait for a few turns and then take Prague afterwards, and then maybe send a temporary Necromancer Lord to sit there for a little while. But at Tier 3, it'll be able to defend itself with walls. So I'll be happy with that. Stay tuned for it. Don't forget to leave a like and comment for your friendly neighborhood heretic. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.